Good morning. Welcome back to Near Post Flick On. Yes, so game week 34, Premier League preview. Interesting games this weekend. And as you know, we set off the weekend with Chelsea taking on Everton at Stamford Bridge. It's a must-win game for Chelsea. Chelsea currently sit sixth in the league, and they are still chasing that all-important top four finish. It's very, very close. It's hotting up. We've got, five more games to go this season. So it's a must-win game for Chelsea. Everton are very tough opposition, and they will provide a lot of challenges for Chelsea. But as I say, with Chelsea having everything to lose or everything to win, if you like, it's going to be a tough game for them. But I will go with the home side today and say Chelsea win 1-0, 1-0 Chelsea against Everton. And the next game, we've got Brighton against West Ham. Brighton currently finishing 10th. Their hopes and aspirations of finishing in the top four are gone. Brighton aren't going to qualify for the Champions League. You know, miracles happen, but this is one miracle that isn't going to happen. Brighton aren't going to qualify for the Champions League. Their best hope is probably to qualify for the Conference League or the Europa League, but then they would have to hope that other results go their way. And looking at the teams above them, those teams are very, very tough, and those teams have been in great form of recent. So Brighton will beat West Ham. West Ham haven't had a great season, but Brighton will definitely beat West Ham. Might be a few goals in there today, so I'll probably say Brighton win 3-2. 3-2 Brighton. Looking at the next game, Newcastle flying high. Um, Currently sit fifth in the league, and they've still got everything to play for. They're still well within contention for the top four finish. Currently 59 points, and they're playing Ipswich. As we know, Ipswich are dead and buried, finished. Champions League football for Ipswich next season. So this should be a comfortable victory for Newcastle at St James's Park today. So I will say Newcastle win Newcastle win 4-1. So it'll be a comfortable victory for Newcastle. Newcastle to win today 4-1. If they lose, then, they are toying with their chances of qualifying for that all-important top four. Moving on to the next game. Southampton take on Fulham. Again, Southampton is, I don't know if it's been official, but they are relegated. 11 points. Championship football for them next season. This should be an easy win for Fulham. Fulham not really in contention. Well, you could argue that they're in contention for maybe a conference league position, but anything can happen. So yeah, today Fulham Southampton. That's a Fulham win, and I'll say Fulham win that 3-0. Going on to the next game for Saturday, Wolves take on Leicester. Again, Leicester, one of the relegated sides as well, whether official or unofficial. They're not going to escape relegation. Jamie Vardy will be leaving the club as well this season. It's been announced. So what a servant he's been to Leicester. So Leicester, I would say Wolves to win this 2-1. Quite easy game for Wolves. Going on to the Sunday fixture, we've got Bournemouth taking on Manchester United. Again, Man United haven't had a good season. I'm sure they will be looking to just try and get as many points as they can to save themselves some embarrassment. Manchester United this season have lost 15 games. They won't want to make it any worse than that. So I would expect Manchester United players to turn up today and at least put on a respectable performance. Bournemouth, they are still in contention for a conference or Europa League spot, and they've been they've been doing great this season, to be fair. So it's going to be a tough away game for Manchester United. So I will say Manchester United, Bournemouth. That would probably end in Bournemouth's favour, being a home team. And I'll say Bournemouth to win that 2-1. So 2-1 Bournemouth. Right. The afternoon fixture on Sunday is Liverpool taking on Spurs. I was about to say the mighty Spurs, but we know they're not quite mighty in recent times. Certainly not mighty this season, that's for sure. But yeah, Liverpool, Spurs. So Liverpool can claim the league, and tomorrow afternoon when they beat Spurs, not if they beat Spurs, when they beat Spurs. Spurs are not going to beat Liverpool at Anfield. Let's be serious. Um, you know, Liverpool have been phenomenal this season. Probably had a better first half of the season than the second half of the season, but with that said, they've had a phenomenal season. They've been fantastic. They've been the best team in the league this year, and it's been confirmed that Van Dijk has signed a new contract. Mo Salah has signed a new contract. So what does that mean for the rest of the league? It means the rest of the league will be shitting their pants, basically. So Liverpool will probably claim the league tomorrow. I can't see Tottenham beating Liverpool. That's not going to happen. So I will say Liverpool will beat Spurs 3-1 because Spurs have a goal in them for sure. But I think Liverpool will win tomorrow's game against Spurs at Anfield 3-1. So 3-1 to Spurs. And yes, let's not forget the FA Cup as well. So there's a couple of games in the FA Cup semi-finals taking place this weekend. So the first game is Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa have been one of my favourite sides this season. I think they've been impressive. Emre's done fantastically well. I will say Everton will beat Villa. I beg your pardon. I will say Aston Villa will beat Crystal Palace 2-1, and they will advance to the finals of the FA Cup. So it will be a great game at Wembley, and I'm saying Aston Villa to beat Crystal Palace 2-1. But whatever happens, Crystal Palace have done phenomenally well as well this season, so give them credit. But I fancy Everton to progress to the final. And on Sunday, we've got Nottingham Forest, Manchester City. Now, City being the club they are, it would be crazy for City not to get a top four finish this season, and it would be crazy for them not to win a trophy this season. So you would kind of hope that City get through to the final. If you're a City fan, they get through to the FA Cup final, so at least they'll have some, some type of trophy to show for their season. But let's not kid ourselves. They've been absolutely poor by their standards this season. Nottingham Forest, they've played out of their skin, and I hope they get top four finish and we can see them back again in the Champions League after so many years away. And remember, it's a competition that they've won twice already. But yeah, and it'll be good. It will be good to have Nottingham Forest getting through to the FA Cup as well. What an interesting FA Cup that would be. Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa, both clubs competing for the top four as well. That would be fantastic, and it would be good to have a different set of following, different set of supporters kind of enjoying that day in the FA Cup as opposed to the norm, to the big four, your traditional big four, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City. But yeah, it's going to be a great game tomorrow, but I can't see City losing. So I'll probably say this probably goes to penalties. I'll say it goes to penalties and maybe City advance to the final. So it could be an Aston Villa City final. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.